After helping hundreds of women build a body and lifestyle where they no longer have to diet, I've learned something that most women miss. Your ability to lose 25 plus pounds and keep it off forever has nothing to do with your hormones or genetics. Most women blame hormones, genetics, or even their age on why they haven't lost a single pound, regardless of trying everything under the sun. But in reality, those factors just affect how easy you see the results, and they're not the real problem. And the real issue is, when it comes to choosing diets, they scroll through social media and blindly choose the latest diet that's been trending without considering this one important aspect, which is sustainability. And I get it, there is almost zero up-to-date practical information online about the downsides of choosing the wrong diets. And that is the exact reason why most of our clients, before joining our body transformation program, they were stuck in the same exact rabbit hole. They went through countless failed diets, wasted money on meal plans that didn't work, felt stuck in this feeling of guilt, and saw little to no progress regardless of trying everything you see on social media. But now, you don't have to make the same mistakes they did. Because today, I'm going to explain the top 4 worst diets you can ever try, and at the end, I'll reveal the best one. The one with absolutely no restrictions and the one with full freedom. It's also the same one that helps our clients achieve the transformation, like the ones you see on the screen. So, in order to fully understand why these are the worst diets, first, you need to understand what is energy balance. Energy balance is simply a relationship between the energy you consume and the energies you expend. Every unit of energy you consume or expend is called as calories, and that is a simple and effective way to keep track of it. Now, since you understand energy balance, there are positive energy balance and negative energy balance. As you see on the screen, the first bar is the energies which you're consuming, also known as the calories from the food that you're eating. The second bar is the energy which you're expending, also known as calories your body burns. So if the calories consumed are more than the calories you're expending, that's what we call a positive energy balance. In simple terms, a calorie surplus. Your body is receiving surplus amount of calories, like more than what it needs to perform. At the end of the day, when you have so many calories left over, your body has no option left but to store those excess calories as body fat. And that is how you gain weight. For example, if the calories consumed were 2500 and the calories expended is 2000, you are in a 500 calorie surplus. When you end up in a big calorie deficit every single day for a prolonged period of time, that is where you gain weight. Then you have neutral energy balance, where the calories you're consuming and the calories expended are exactly the same. And as you guessed, that's exactly where you maintain your current weight. For example, if you consume 2000 calories and expend 2000 calories, at the end of the day, there is nothing left over. And as a result, there won't be any changes in your body weight. And last but not least, we have negative energy balance. As you see on the screen, when the calories consumed are less than the calories expended, your body has no option left but to make up those missing calories. For example, if you consumed 2000 calories and managed to expend 2500 calories, your body has no option left but to make up those 500 calories from what's already stored inside, either from muscle or fat. And when you do this for a prolonged period of time, that is exactly how you lose weight, and that's exactly what is called being in a calorie deficit. So now you know calorie deficit is not a diet like most people think it is. It is a literal requirement for fat loss. All the diets which I'm about to explain are just methods to put you in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus. If that's what it's doing, you might as well choose something that you actually enjoy and something that doesn't make you feel suffocated. Whatever I'm explaining in this video is not me telling you what to do. You're an independent individual and you have the total freedom to do whatever the heck you want. If what you're doing right now works for you, sure, go for it. This is just from my experience and from our client's experience. So take what lands and discard what doesn't. It's never mansplaining. I'm just here to help. So the first and the most popular one, intermittent fasting. Most people believe intermittent fasting is a magic, but it's not. You're just cutting down your eating window in half, and as a result, you will consume fewer calories. And when you consume fewer calories for a prolonged period of time, you will end up in a negative energy balance, and that leads to weight loss. Well, again, if this works for you, sure, go for it. But these are the few downsides of this approach. Number one, by cutting down your eating window in half, you're severely limiting your ability to consume protein. And if you ask me, why is that a problem? Successful weight loss isn't about how much weight you lost, it's about how much muscle tissue you retain. Because if you lose muscle, you will lose your ability to burn calories. And if you lose your ability to burn calories, you will end up in a positive energy balance. As a result of being in a positive energy balance, in simple terms, being in a calorie surplus after the diet, you will regain all the weight which you lost in the first place. Now, coming back to the point, if you want to retain muscle tissue, you need to consume protein. And since protein is so filling, it is nearly impossible for you to consume 100 plus grams of protein in just 2 to 3 hour eating window. The second and the most important downsides is sustainability. As I always say in my content, before you even think about starting a diet, ask yourself this one question. Can you do this for the rest of your life? If the answer is no, why even bother trying it? Let's say you did some extreme diet and you lost the weight. Have you ever thought about what happens after that? Have you ever thought about how you can keep the weight off for the rest of your life? The only way you can build a body and lifestyle where you no longer have to diet and keep the results for the rest of your life is when you choose something that you actually enjoy. When you choose something that doesn't make you feel suffocated, and when you choose something that actually suits your goals and lifestyle. Let me put this into perspective. Imagine you're doing intermittent fasting and you got invited to a dinner outside of your eating window. Would you sit there and sip water while everyone else is enjoying a full course meal just because you had 30 minutes left in your fasting window? Well, now you might be thinking, I can sacrifice my social life and deal with intermittent fasting until I lose the weight, and once I lose it, I can go back to how I was before. If that's the case, tell me one reason why you won't lose all your progress. If you don't already know, during weight loss phase, there are going to be times where your weight will hit a plateau. And when that happens, if you're doing intermittent fasting, you won't have much leeway to make adjustments. If you had a normal eating window, like a normal human being, it'll be easy for you to make adjustments and get you unstuck from that plateau because you will know exactly where you stand. Now, there might be some of you listening who haven't lost a single pound even after trying intermittent fasting. Well, if that's you, don't you worry, because I'm going to explain exactly why. Let's say you're doing 18-hour fast and have a 6-hour eating window. When you starve for 18 hours, you'll most likely be hungry and almost ready to inhale an entire elephant. And you might even be in an impression that since you've been fasting for 18 hours, you can eat whatever you want and how much ever you want in that 6-hour eating window. 2 to 3 meals, followed by a bag of chips and a pint of ice cream, 2 to 3 cookies, and by the end of the night, without you even realizing it, you would have consumed more calories than you expended, and you are no longer in a deficit. At certain times, you might even end up consuming more calories, which will eventually put you in a calorie surplus and causing you to gain weight. Most people find intermittent fasting as super easy and effective, but in my opinion, that is just you're shooting yourself on the foot. You're not making behavior modifications, you're not learning the fundamentals, and you're doing something that's totally against on how you will live in your life. If you have at least 10% desire on keeping the results for more than 90 days, I would never recommend intermittent fasting. The second one on the list is liquid diets. As it is clear in the name, liquid diets requires you to replace the meals with juices or shakes in order to lose weight. Since you have already heard in this video, ask yourself the same question. Can you do it for the rest of your life? In simple terms, do you see yourself having just liquids for the rest of your life? Now, you have the answer. In my opinion, this one is the worst on the list, and not even a single human can sustain it because it's completely opposite on how general population lives their life. With liquid diets, since they're not as nearly as satiating, you will get hungry within 5 minutes. And that's your golden ticket for you to feel bloated 24/7 and can cause serious issues to your gut microbiome. Some people even use meal replacement shakes that are available on the markets, which arguably will provide all the nutrients you need and even higher protein options to fuel protein synthesis. In full honesty, I have tried that in the past, and since it has less fiber, it is the same story again and again. You will get hungry within 5 minutes, and when you get hungry, you know exactly what happens. You will end up raiding the whole pantry and finishing a full sleeve of Oreos. I'm not even gonna get into juice cleanses and detoxes and that, is for a whole another video. Next, we're going to talk about extreme low-calorie diets. In simple terms, eating less than a 5-year-old toddler in order to lose weight. Many of you listening might relate to this. In at least one of every 3 consultations, someone tells me, I cut out everything and now I'm only eating 1 meal a day. And almost every single time, that one meal is a Greek salad with chicken and lettuce, plus a smoothie on the side. If you stop eating, you will lose weight. Novel idea, but little do you know, just 2 to 3 weeks in, the real side effect kicks in. Energy will be something that's non-existent. Since you're missing important vitamins and minerals, you will soon start seeing symptoms like hair thinning, hair loss, digestive issues, and most importantly, muscle loss. This is the worst place to be, and this is the exact reason why you hear most people say, yes, I lost the weight, but soon after I stopped working out, I regained double the weight back. Now, have you ever seen someone lose weight but still look a little soft, like out of shape? They might look slim in clothes, but some still carry fat underneath. That is called being skinny fat, and you guessed it, that happens because of muscle loss. 90% of people who try extreme low-calorie diets end up in the same exact situation. This approach, even though it may give you some quick wins at the start, this will soon become your biggest nightmare. And the next one on the list, the one and only, keto. Typically in keto, you go low carb, moderate in proteins, and high in fats. And the ideal calorie distribution for keto would be 10% carbs, 30 to 35% of protein, and 60% fats. Now, let me tell you the biggest reason why keto is famous for super quick and instant results. When you stop eating carbs, your body depletes glycogen stores, which is directly linked into water retention. If you don't already know, every gram of carbs holds around 3 to 4 grams of water. So, in simple terms, when you cut down carbs, you're not losing fat. You are just losing a lot of water weight. However, here's the problem. Carbs is your primary source of energy. And when you cut down carbs, as a result, you'll feel super lethargic and extremely low in energy. When you have low energy, you move less. And when you move less, you won't burn as many calories as you would in a normal diet. So over time, apart from causing serious health issues, you'll have a significant impact on the amount of calories you're expending. But do you know what else is frustrating? Imagine saying no to rice, carbs, chocolates, pasta, and avoiding them for the rest of your life. I don't know about you, but I love carbs, and a life without it, I can never imagine. So if you can handle it, sure, go for it. But staying in ketosis and to continue losing fat, it requires you to completely avoid carbs. According to the data, keto has high failure rate, and it's simply because it's not sustainable for general population. The next one is not a diet, but something that is popular enough that I can't help but to talk about it, and that is eating healthy. I absolutely hate to burst your bubble, but eating healthy doesn't promise you results. Everybody wants to eat healthy, but nobody has a true definition of what eating healthy means. When people say they want to eat healthy, what they end up doing is choose more whole foods and organic options over highly processed foods, which is great in a health and nutrition standpoint. However, when it comes to making visual changes to your body, it all comes down to energy balance. So healthy meals still have calories, and what happens when you consume more healthy calories than you expend? You won't lose weight. Now, eating healthy also has a few downsides. When you get too caught up in this healthy trend, it can become addictive, and you can be extremely conscious about what you're eating. So one day, when you finally break that pattern and eat something which you label as junk, even though you haven't done anything wrong, you'll feel guilty because you think you've broken that healthy streak. So as you can see, the key to making a permanent transformation is to find something that suits your goals and lifestyle, and to find something that aligns with what you're already doing. This way, you can stay in a calorie deficit for however long you need to reach your ideal body weight, and there are no shortcuts. You'll have to learn the basics of nutrition, especially how to track what you eat, because if you don't track, it doesn't get measured, and what doesn't get measured does not get improved. Once you start learning, you will soon realize it doesn't matter what food you eat, even though the ones which you label as good or bad, as long as you stay within your calorie targets, anything is possible. To hit it home, once you learn the basics, You can eat whatever you want and still get into the best shape you've ever been and stay that way for the rest of your life. And that is possible when you do the method called flexible dieting. The same exact method our clients use to get the transformation like the ones you see on the screen, while never sacrificing any of their favorite foods and while never ever saying no to social living. To be specific, Reshma, a busy mom of two, lost 15 plus pounds while eating the same foods that she cooked for her family and dining out at least twice a week. Reggie, a busy head nurse, lost more than 10 pounds while relying on grab-and-go meal options. And the best part? These are the snapshots from our clients' food logs. In short, flexible dieting is a method where you can eat the same foods you're eating right now and still get into the best shape you've ever been. However, it's important to understand that not all calories are created equal. Calories determine your weight, and the nutrients determine your body composition. In simple terms, the way you look. As you may already know, your macronutrients consist of carbs, proteins, and fats. For protein, if you're engaging in a physical activity, you should aim to consume about 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of your body weight. But I know some of you might say, Dev, RD recommends 0.8 to 1 gram per kg of body weight. Isn't consuming more protein bad? Here's the truth. That recommendation is for general population to maintain day-to-day life. But if you are doing physical activity and doing strength training, or if you're looking to build muscle or retain muscle, your body demands more protein in order to stimulate protein synthesis. As long as you don't have any pre-existing kidney diseases, there is no upper limit for proteins. And no, it won't make you look like a She-Hulk overnight. Now, talking about carbs and fats, carbs gives you energy, and fats are super crucial, especially for women. Fats should make up to 20 to 35% of your overall daily calories for your cognitive function and hormone balance. A 2000 calorie diet that is high in protein and moderate in carbs and fats will give you much results than the one which is high in carbs and moderate in fats and protein. Now, do yourself a favor. Take a screenshot of this page. This is the ideal calorie distribution when you're doing flexible dieting. Even though you have the flexibility to eat what you love, you still have to nourish your body with nutritious choices. Sometimes people put too much focus on protein, carbs, and fat and neglect vegetables and fruits, and that is exactly where you get all the micronutrients from. As a good rule of thumb, include 4 to 5 different colors of fruits and vegetables into your diet. Each color provides different vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that your body needs. What's fascinating is that when you do flexible dieting, you can get creative and find macro-friendly options for all your favorite foods. And if you ask me, how do you do that? And that's simply by making small adjustments, choosing low-calorie products, less oil, less dairy, and there are so many more other options. And by the way, if it feels like biting glass to find calorie-friendly options for all your favorite foods, don't you worry. I'll save you the trouble. Scan this QR code and message me on Instagram, and I'll send you our own Ultimate Dynamics cookbook with 30 plus high protein, low calorie recipes like the one you see on the screen. Once you get into the practice, you'll soon realize 2 cookies, a slice of cake, and an ice cream can actually fit into your diet. You don't have to demonize them anymore. And you don't have to wait till next Friday to eat a slice of pizza. The reason why all the diets which I mentioned above has a high failure rate is just because the more you restrict, the more you crave, and the more you crave, the more you binge. Constantly telling yourself no will only make you crave them more. And finally, on that one frustrated night when you lose control, you will eat 5 times more than you actually would. Intermittent fasting restricts when you can eat. Liquid diet restricts real food. Keto restricts carbs. So again, looking and feeling amazing is only hard when you make it to be. Given all this information, now you can go implement all these strategies and finally break the cycle of restrictions. Or if you want us to create a super custom dieting protocols according to your goals and lifestyle, then go down below this video, click the first link in the description and just fill out a super short application. And if you qualify, I'll personally reach out to see how I can help you the best.